Hey guys, so today we will discuss about the composite resin. Now in conservative dentistry we have caries or fracture like this class 2 caries or fracture which will be converted into class 4 cavity preparation. So we prepare tooth and we place a material which can fill the tooth structure and replace its function. So these materials are called as restorative material. These materials should be strong enough, it should have color of the teeth, it should be easily placed, and it should stick with the tooth. Now these material which can stick with the tooth, it can all include resin, gums, or we can say acrylics. So in 1956 Dr. R.L. Bowen introduced bisphenol glycidide dimethacrylate, that is bis-GMA or UDMA, also called as urethane dimethacrylate. Along with that, we include TEG-DMA, that is triethylene glycol dimethacrylate, which reduces the viscosity of this resin material. So how this resin material work? This is prepared tooth, okay, and we place resin here. Now after placement of this resin, it gets set and it gets hardened. So what is the mechanism of the setting is that when the resin is not set or not cured, it is in monomer form. This is liquid or semi-liquid form. When it gets polymerized, when these monomers get cross-linked, they will be hardened. It is called as cured resin. Okay, so what are these monomer? Which are different type of monomer? We have BGMA or bis-GMA. This is the structure of bis-GMA. We have double bond here and double bond here. So the idea is that monomer is get polymerized by breaking of this bond and production of two unpaired electron. This electron is shared with another hydrogen atom and another bound with another molecule of bisphenol glycidide dimethacrylate. So there will be formation of a long chain polymer which will be cross-linked and these will set the resin. So how can we break these double bonds here? We need an initiator, something that initiates this breaking of these bonds. So as an initiator, we need free radicals, that is benzoyl peroxide or camphoraquinones. These benzoyl peroxide and camphoraquinones are converted into free radicals and these free radicals will break these double bonds. So we need an initiator, but to activate this initiator we need activator, which will again break these bonds, produce free radicals, and these free radicals in turn will break these bonds and form a long chain, that is initiation, and after initiation there will be elongation of the long chain. Okay, so activators can be a chemical or light. Based on these we have chemically cured resin or light cured resin. So these are chemically cured and these are light cured resins. So initiator in chemically cured resin is benzoyl peroxide. In case of light cured resin it is camphoraquinones. Activators in case of the chemically cured resins are N and dimethyl paratoluidine, that is tertiary amine, and activators in light cured resin is light itself. So after this activation and initiation, in turn the polymerization, we have a set resin. This is a properly hard resin. The problem with this resin is that it is not that hard enough, plus there will be shrinkage of the resin, because when at the end of the polymerization we have this cured resin, the monomer will be converted into polymer and this will cause shrinkage of the resin, plus this resin is not hard enough, will cause adhesion, plus this resin has not a natural color of tooth, it has artificial color, so we have to add something to give shades of this color. Okay, so we To increase the hardness, the toughness of the material, we have to add some filler materials. These are materials which are hard itself and they will provide strength to this polymer. These materials are quartz, silica and glass. What are the function of this filler material? They will reduce the shrinkage because they will fill the gap between these polymers and it will resist the shrinkage. Plus this will reduce the adhesion because the filler material will be also be placed on the surface of this cured material. Okay, so it will reduce the adhesion of this composite resin. So the function of this filler material is they will reduce the shrinkage, they will reduce the adhesion of the composite resin and they will provide the strength. As we can see, there is polymers of the resin and filler material, there is a composition, so it is called as composite resin. Again, problem with this filler material placed in the resin is that there is a gap between filler material and the so the problem with filler material is that they are not sticking with the resin. There is a gap between resin and the filler phase. This will cause the crack propagation. When there will be crack, it will go there, and because of the gap between filler material and resin polymers, it will pass through this bond and the crack will propagate. So it will reduce the strength. Second, it will reduce the flexibility because there is a filler material which is not flexible, so resin cannot be flexed easily. It will reduce the flexibility and it will reduce the fracture toughness. So for that we have to add something which can bind this filler material and this resin. We need a coupling agent. Okay, so coupling agents are the agents which materials which bind this filler material with polymer resins. Okay, they will close the gap between them and they will provide bond to each other. These are organosilants, so they will reduce the crack propagation. Okay, they will provide strength, plus they will increase the flexibility of the resin, that is composite resin. These are the basic structures, these are the basic component of the composite resin. Along with that we include inhibitors, that is butylated hydroxy toluene 0.01%. We add colors, that is titanium oxide and aluminum oxide. We add opacifying agents. Even after the addition of this filler material, we have problem of shrinkage. The composite material still have the tendency to shrink, and these will add the concept of the cavity configuration factor, that is C factor. What is the C factor? It is ratio of the attached surface of the cavity and the free surface of the cavity. That is, when we add material to the cavity prepared, we will divide the free surface by attached surface. So in class 1 and class 5 cavity preparation, we have 5 attached surfaces, okay, and 1 free surface. So the more the composite resin contact with the tooth, the more will be C factor and the more will be shrinkage. That is, the more will be the chance of dislocation or detachment of this composite resin from the cavity. So it is maximum, that is 5 in case of class 1 and class 5. In case of class 2 and class 3, we have this 1, 2, 3, 4 by 2, that is 2 C factor, because we have free surfaces from which the resin can shrink and the attached surface will be spared from detachment. And last is class 4 cavity preparation. It may have these 1 or 2 surfaces. Based on that, we have 1 by 5, that is 0.2 C factor. So these are different type of C factors, and based on that we can predict the nature of detachment or how much stress will be produced at the junction of the cavity and the composite resin. So how can we reduce this detachment, this breakage of the bond between the composite resin and tooth structures? For that we have to add bonding agents. So in next video we will discuss about the bonding agent and how were they produced, what is the history of the bonding agent, what is the mechanism, and what is the smear layer, what is hybrid layer, what is etching. So all will be discussed in next video. Thank you.